This is Samuel Academy channel. This video is about mapping of senior schools in Nyali Constituency in Mombasa County. The reason for this initiative is to create awareness of existing schools for parents and students selecting schools for senior secondary education. It also helps us to understand patterns in the distribution of schools in the constituency. I made the map of the constituency by using GIS, which is Geographic Information Systems in full. It is an important tool for understanding patterns, relationships, and geographic context. For me to be able to visualize the location of the schools in that constituency, I'm going to explore the map by zooming in, zooming out, by using the pan tool, this one here, the pan icon. So for example, let me zoom in around this area. I'm able to see the following schools. We have Nyali High School. We have Mombasa Secondary for the physically handicapped. We also have Shri Somnirayan Academy Secondary School. Then we have Oshual Academy. If we go to the north a little bit, we find Sheikh Zayed Secondary School. Then we have Brainsworth Secondary School around this area. If we move down to the south, we have Rise and Shine Academy, right? And then we have the following schools: Holbrook High School, Imara Secondary, right? Let me zoom in. We have Imara Secondary. We have Alidina Vizram Secondary School. Let me zoom out to see if there is any school remaining. We have looked at all the schools, and that is the way the senior schools are distributed in that constituency of Nyali. Now, apart from schools, I want to explain how one of the weather instruments works. That is the wet bulb hygrometer, which is taught in our schools. All right? But before I do that, I want to remind you, dear viewer, to subscribe to this channel in order to be able to view more videos in matters education. All right. This is the wet bulb hygrometer, okay, which is used to measure relative humidity. It has two thermometers, the dry bulb and the wet bulb. This is the dry bulb thermometer, and this is the wet bulb thermometer. The two thermometers are ordinary mercury in glass thermometers. Alright, they work together and they form what you call the wet bulb hygrometer for measuring humidity. Now, the two thermometers, each one of them has a bulb, okay? For example, this is the bulb of the dry bulb thermometer, and the bulb of the wet bulb thermometer is here. Now, around this bulb of the wet bulb, we tie or we wrap a muslin cloth. Muslin is M-U-S-L-I-N. And then we have a wick that is suspended or immersed in the still water in this container. So the water rises by capillarity along the wick and evaporates. That evaporation around the wet bulb causes cooling, so that the temperature you record at the wet bulb is usually lower than what you record at the dry bulb. Like in this example, the wet bulb reading here is 90 degrees Celsius, right? But the dry bulb is 24 degrees Celsius. There is that difference, and we call it the wet bulb depression. So what an observer does is that he comes and he records the two temperatures dry bulb and wet bulb. And then he finds the difference between the two, dry bulb minus wet bulb. Then he uses a slide rule to calculate humidity. Or alternatively, he can just check from the tables. There are tables called psychrometric tables, which you can check and find humidity when you have the difference between the two thermometers, the two temperatures. So that is how a wet bulb hygrometer works. It measures humidity, okay, relative humidity, and it has two thermometers, the dry bulb and wet bulb, which are read at the same time, and then we find the difference and use that difference to calculate humidity using a slide rule or using tables. So I hope this video has been of value to you. I request you to share widely for the sake of students who have no access to a weather station, all right, to know how it works. And also, to be able to view more videos, you need to subscribe to Samuel Academy.